Good night, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Mi Ripota. Each week we're going to profile some of the stories that you sent in through Facebook and WhatsApp. Let's have a look at some of those stories. Now, one of the stories for this week that got said almost 300 times and 750 likes on our Facebook page is the story of grapes being grown in Banz in the heart of the fertile Waghi Valley. Mi Ripota Michael Andy sent in these images of grapes grown and harvested in Banz in the Jiwaka province. Michael reported that the grapes are farmed by Pastor Ben Maris and his wife. Pastor Ben started farming in 2015 in his Mandarin orange garden with just one wine plant. Mr. Andy said farmers like Ben who have less education find it difficult to sell their produce. Transport costs, how to approach big stores, hotels, etc. is a bit hard, Michael reported. Still on Mi Ripota Pevin Farapo, who is a resident of Mount Agen, sent these images of what the people of Western Islands with the churches did on March 22 this week at Queen's Park in Mount Agen. Pevin reported that the minister's fraternal, churches, police department and health services in the Western Islands province came together in a partnership with Missing Aviation Fellowship MAF to organize donations of garden food, blankets, clothes, cash and kind at the Queen's Park to help with the relief supplies to support the earthquake-affected provinces in the islands region. And we continue with more stories here at Mi Ripota. A devastating flood hits Banz area in the North Waghi District, Jiwaka province. Mi Ripota Lydia Kumb reported. A recent flooding of a creek, Waramobol, in the early hours of Saturday, March 24, swept away some people, several houses, properties and gardens. Many properties were lost and bodies of some people allegedly swept away by the flood are yet to be found. The exact number of lives lost in the flood is yet to be established. More on flooding in Banz. Mi Ripota Lydia Kumb said these images were taken yesterday afternoon at Aprip village in Banz, Jiwaka province. Due to heavy downpour, during the early hours the whole village was flooded and many people lost their homes. According to some victims, they fled their homes during the early hours and ran up to the mountains. More than 10 houses were completely swept off by the flood, leaving either the concrete floor or the iron posts, which were also damaged and bent. One of the community rep, Mr. Kambia, is appealing to the provincial government for assistance as many properties have been destroyed and life in the village is currently at stake. More devastation has been done downstream also. Our Mi Ripota Aileen Baretta brings another update of the situation at Kikori Delta after the February 27 earthquake. Aileen reported that ulcers, rashes and mysterious animal deaths leave communities in panic 1 month after the earthquake effects in Kikori. At Kayam village, the crossing between Kikori Gulf province and Simberegi Southern Islands province, people complained of itches that became rashes and blisters and eventually ulcers. Villagers clarified that they have been using clear creeks that feed the main Kikori River. However, after noticing these skin infections, refrained. For those that have already contracted ulcers, it has become infectious. It takes over 2 hours by boat and daylight by foot for Kayam villagers to reach the nearest health center, Kikori Hospital. The office of the Gulf Governor indicated last night that they will present this report to the Disaster Committee on Monday 26th. Meanwhile, another Mi Ripota, Morea Ebola from North Goroka, Eastern Islands Province, sent in these pictures taken after a hailstorm on Wednesday afternoon this week. Before we go, anyone remember this? EMTV's Johnny Tanon was sent this image of Coke, Fanta and Sprite in glass bottle from Nepal on March 19. They still have these drinks in glass bottles. And this brings us to the end of this week's episode of the Mi Ripota Show. If you'd like to contribute to next week's show, then you can do so by liking the Mi Ripot Facebook page and inbox directly, or you can send your pictures and videos to 78074072 on WhatsApp, or you can email to miripot@emtv.com.pg. And that's all we have for this week. Until next time, it's goodbye for now.